Okay. Today we'll check into this template pattern and decorator pattern. Okay. So template comes under behavioral and decorator comes under structural. Okay. So these two we will see. Okay. First, let's take this template pattern. In the template, as the name says, there is some template, okay, for doing some things, right? So what is that mean? Like you have a similar set of things to do. Let's take one example of like applying a leave or applying a leave. Okay, so there are multiple people who will be applying the leave. For example, let's take employee who is applying the leave and the manager and the HR. So and then contract people. Let's say like the contract employees. Okay. If you see, the applying the leave is the same one task, and there are multiple categories involved in that. Okay. The procedure is somewhat same, but somewhat like from one level of employee to another level of employee, it is little different. There's a small change in that. Small changes are there, but not the entire process, right? So initially, what will happen? Let's say in case of in a normal flow, he will log in. Login wise, you don't see any change. Correct, right? So then the what will happen? He will select the what do you call schedule to leave when he wants to schedule the leave. So he will select the date and he will fill the reasons, everything, and he will submit it. Once the submission is happen, either it will be approved by when it comes to the approval. Suppose he is an employee. Okay, first TL has to approve. Let's say like that. Okay, and then your manager has to approve. His manager has to approve. Because there sometime dependency will be there, the TL has to approve it first. And then the manager, for the manager approval wise, it has to be approved by his supervisor directly. Okay. For HR also, let's say it will be approved by your supervisors. And then contract employees, first it will be approved by his what do you call company, parent company. Okay. Parent company. And then here manager, let's say like that. So there is small change in this, small compared to the other things. And then next is called your update the database. Or let's say like that, something is there. Let's say like in all these cases, it will go to one database and this guy goes to some other database. Because his parent company's database also he has to upload it. And then close it. So these are the steps involved. If you see, all are common, but in the middle there is a small change. In the steps, small variations is there, and again it will be closed. So what we can do is we can define a template for this. What should be the template? We say like login, and then schedule. Or else like select it, and then fill the details and submit. Approval. Okay, and then close. Right. So in that case, what you can do, you can define a interface for this with all these methods. Okay. So after that, what you can do is you can create an abstract class. Okay. In the abstract class, what you will do, you will implement login because it is common for everyone. It's a generalization you are doing, generalizing the things to the abstract class, and then scheduler. But filling and submit also fine. But the approval, you will keep it as an abstract. You will not implement this because it has to be implemented differently. So and then you will do close. Okay. So the concrete classes, whoever is there. So what they will do, they will extend this abstract class. Let's like employee leave flow manager. Okay. Then you will have a concrete classes like employee leave flow manager. And then manager leave flow manager, HR leave flow manager, and then contract employee leave manager. So in this case, what you will do, you will implement only this method. Okay, abstract, which are abstracted approval method, and rest of the things will be same thing. And when you are in your application code, so you will have a one interface, right? Whatever the interface was there, so you will deal with that only, and you will get the appropriate object, either employee or manager or HR or contract based on that, and you will just call apply leave. So the process will be repeated as per your template along with the step. So this is called template pattern. You are going to define a template with abstract class, and you will keep some of the methods as abstract, okay, which should be implemented by your subclasses to make it as a specialized ones. So based on your particular situation, you will choose the particular type of object which you want to deal with, and then you will call it only single method like that, and then the procedure will be repeated for that class. To take another example, right? Usually,
interface required here?
Interface is required because you have to deal with your interfaces, right? Like when you are coding, right? So you cannot give the what do you call implemented classes, right?
Yeah,
you can use the abstract class also. That is also fine. Or you can use the interface also, but better to have the interfaces because that interfaces may have the another abstractions, 2 level of abstractions.
Okay.
So that's the reason. One more example I can use, like your coffee machine, vending machine usually we call. Here you will have options to prepare coffee and then prepare milk, badam milk you say, and then tea. What else is there? Let's say green tea. Like this. So if you see the procedure for preparing is like just you will take the cup, fill the cup with water or fill cup with milk. In case of milk, it's already filled. So, and then what you will do, you will add sugar, and then you will add coffee powder or badam or green tea, anything. In this case, you will take water. In green tea case, let's say like that. Some small amount of change is there. So here again, you will do stir and then serve. So if you see that there is a template, but there are little changes in this space and in this space. Okay. So you can define an abstract class. Which is having these methods. Next, first one is fill, implement it, okay, and then add sugar, implement it, and then add powder, whatever the powder is there. But you will not implement this. You will just leave it as an abstract because this is the specialized step to be done by the subclasses.
First one also should be abstract, right?
Yeah, most of the cases what you will do add the milk only, but in some cases you will do water, right? So you can make that milk addition here, but in your subclass you can again override because it's only done in 1 or 2 classes, right? 1 or 2 specializations. So in that you can override to fill with water, not with milk. Here, of course, you can do that as an abstract and do it. So, but in again, most of the cases you will have milk only. This is like some small amount of partial generalization. Okay. And then serve, and then close, right? So, and then you will come like coffee maker. You will override only that add powder method. Okay, and then if you come to green tea, you will add override 2 methods, fill and add powder method. So here it is, you will add green tea. So once this is done, your vending machine will be there. He's like, first you will select what is the select, whether it is coffee or green tea. So based on that, you will get the particular instance of the class and you will call prepare. So in the prepare, what will happen? How to implement prepare? Prepare is like you will implement like this. In the prepare will be implemented in the abstract class itself here, usually. Okay, because the step-by-step invocation, whatever you are calling, it is same for everybody. So what you will call here, you will call first fill, and then you will call add sugar, and then you will call add powder, and then stir, and then serve. This is the prepare. Okay. So this will be there in your abstract class. The template will be this one. So this is called template pattern. And any questions?
Compare the chain of responsibility and this one, right? There, maybe if you have a less number of changes, then you go for chain of responsibility. Or
No, chain of responsibility is a one step. Okay, there are not. What do you say? It's only one process. Okay, in chain of responsibility, one process and divided into multiple steps. In case of template, okay, there are multiple steps, multiple processes which are similar steps, but in only one or two places, like there is a specialization here. Like everybody will come. This is specialized and diverged again, and again meet and diverge. This is, I mean, to select this is common, and these are specialized. So in a process of step, there are multiple processes are involved here, but here single process but multiple steps for them. Here the steps are common and uncommon. Common and uncommon steps are there, both. But it's only one process, end-to-end process, chaining of that one process with steps. So, and strategy is like you have multiple alternatives for the same process. Multiple alternatives are there. So alternative 1, alternative 2, alternative 3, alternative 4. So and you will choose one out of that, and rest you will discard. But based on some strategy. If strategy is this one, you will go with this, and other way you will discard. Only one will be executed, but the goal is same here. Okay. Anything? Template. So we will go with the next structural pattern. In the structural pattern, we have seen what do you call? What we have seen? Structural pattern.
We haven't seen any structure.
Yeah, we have seen one. No? One.
Singleton.
No. Okay, we'll check this decorator pattern. What are all over? Singleton. And then factory. Builder. And then builder. Adapter we have seen. Yeah, this is over. Adapter is over. Okay. So now let's see the decorator pattern. So the decorator pattern is one such structural pattern. It basically says like how your classes will be organized based on your responsibilities. Okay. So that's one thing. So in case of decorator pattern says like you have a base object. Okay, one object is there. Okay, this can act independently first. First of all, it can act independently. There is no other support are required. I mean, like it can exhibit its functions without the help of other things. Okay, that is one thing. Base object is there. On top of that, you want to add some decorations to it. Or responsibilities. Maybe they are optionals. Optional responsibilities, or they may be they can be like a combination of combinations of decorations. Okay. For example, you have a room, right? Of course, this can exist independently. It can act. You can go sleep, do whatever you want. But there can be something like you can add some decorations, blah 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 things, right? So that's what. And of course, it can exist without that also. And more one or two also you can add, and combination of one or two like that also you can do. So you are adding the responsibility to a base object to increase its responsibility. That's where you will go with the decorator pattern. I'll just give an example. Like let's say you have an ice cream. Okay? So this ice cream you can eat without having any decorations, right? So on top of that, what you can do, you can add honey, you can add a chocolate, and you can add cherry, etc. Cream, something like that. So you can keep adding that. So that's all. These are all options. Okay, it's not like honey is not there. I can't add chocolate. They are independent again. The decorations are independent to each other. Okay, and again, one more thing is what do you call? You can add multiple. I mean combination of each of one. So it's an add-on kind of thing. You have a base package. Let's say you are buying a 70 rupees talk time. Correct? On top of that, you will add message pack. On top of that, you will add internet pack. So it's like building on top of it. And they are independent to each other and they can exist without them. And it can be a combination of it. Okay. So let's see how to implement this now. So, yeah. First we will take ice cream. So there will be an interface, ice cream interface, and it will have something like 8. Let's say one interface is there. Okay. And that you will implement the concrete object, that is ice cream itself. Ice cream implementation. It is the realization of the interface. Okay, I should say realization of the interface. This ice cream is there and you are realizing it. That means like an object of ice cream. Let's say like a class of ice cream. So this is a bare ice cream and you can eat that. Okay, without anything. So on top of that, what you will do, you will define the flavors of ice cream. Okay. You will actually what you will do, you will do an abstract ice cream. Here. You are going to abstract the flavors, and you will have a flavors like honey, and then you will call cherry, and then you will call chocolate. So you are making like this, and more importantly here, what is main thing is like you will have a constructor which takes an object of ice cream. I see. Bare object, because these are all additional things, right? You always need this class, bare class, right? So that you need to give it to him, then only you can act on top of it. You should have ice cream, then only you can have it honey ice cream and cherry ice cream, or only chocolate ice cream. Without having this guy, you cannot have it. So that's the reason, again, this will finally form an ice cream only. So they are realizing from ice cream interface, and you are having the subclasses of honey, cherry and chocolate kind of thing. Okay? Got it, right? So
What is the use of this basically?
yeah, I told no one such example I given, no, like you have a base class, base object which can act independently. Without these things, decoration also, ice cream you can eat bare, but only ice cream. There is an object, like let's say like a connection is there, right? Your connection. Without any extra responsibility, it itself can establish a connection, all these things and all. Suppose say you want to add a extra security. Okay? Secured connection. You can say secured connection. You can decorate that connection with security. Okay? Okay. So that's a decoration. Usually, if only one thing is there, we will not go for this decoration pattern. Like if multiple things are there, like there can be multiple decoration possibilities are there. So then we'll usually go for the decorator pattern. So there is one more thing is called builder pattern, right? So builder pattern and this pattern is slightly like confusing when to use which one. So this is also kind of like a building an object, right? Like whatever we wanted. So but in case of builder, right? Usually we wanted to avoid the constructor overflow. I mean like to if the constructor is taking more than number of objects, I mean like parameters or more, then we usually go for the builder. But in this case, it is not the case. It's like we are adding the functionality. It's not like we are building an object. We are adding the responsibility of it. So that's where. And one more thing is that called composition. Composite. The composite like you can this more of the sense composite only. If you see ice cream object is that this is composed inside an abstract ice cream, right? But here what you are doing, you are again extending it. There is a composition of course, but you are extending it. Then only the decorator pattern will come. Suppose simply you don't have these extractions and simply you are keeping it here, then it is not called a decorator pattern. It's just a composition, that's all. So let's take one more example. Yeah, I'll give you a real-time example. This, what do you call? Lager implementation. How the lager implementation we can do. So let's take, you have a lager. Okay. So what is the functionality of lager is log. Like debug. And then what do you call? Error log. Let's say like this. There are many cases will be there. So this is the interface. Okay. So what does the log do? If it is debug log, he will check whether, I mean like this is a lager IMPL. Okay, he will check whether the debug is enabled and he will do it. Okay. And then he will just say like, he will give you the, out of his one string he will give you what is the log. Format, all these things. If error is there, error it will be. Okay. So on top of this, we want to decorate it. How do we want to decorate it? Whether we want to do it in a file. We can do it in a file, or we can do it on console, or we can do it to some DB, right? Or we can do both in DB and file. That's correct, right? So we can have an abstract class. Which is like abstract logger, and then we can have a concrete classes for that. Here we will have a logger, abstract logger. Okay. Let's take this ice cream example and let's try to write how the classes look like. Okay. So next first is interface, right? So interface, ice cream, then eat, then class, ice cream IAPL, implements, ice cream, eat. You will print it. Okay, that's all. And then you will have a abstract class. Abstract ice cream, and you will have abstract ice cream. You will not override this. You will keep that as abstract. There should be some called decorate. You will just call decorate with that. Okay. Yeah, you can have decorate if you want. Okay. Let's say is honey ice cream. Then you will have in the decorate. What you will do? First you will decorate with you. What you will call honey. And then you will call super dot decorate. This extends abstract ice cream. Okay, and like say chocolate ice cream extends abstract ice cream. Then decorate you will call chocolate and then super dot decorate. So let's look into now how the application goes. So in application, what you will do, you will first you will create an ice cream, which is there is equal to new ice cream. Let's say like this. And then what you will do, you want a honey flavor, let's say like that. Then what you will do, honey ice cream. Ice cream is equal to new honey ice cream with whatever ice cream was there, you will pass that. So and then you will call chocolate ice cream. Let's say like that. Then you will pass HIC here. Now with honey is there this one. So you will passing honey. And then you will call CHIC dot eat or decorate you will call. So what will happen? CHIC's decorate will be called. CHIC's decorate means chocolate, this one. So it has a chocolate now. So he is calling super dot decorator. So this guy, when he was creating, he had a honey ice cream, right? So this guy is decorator. This guy is decorate means honey decorator. So now honey will come. So and then he is calling super dot decorator. For this guy, super is ice cream. So ice cream is decorate. You can have a decorate here. So you can say there is nothing decoration. So nothing is there. So totally you are formed with chocolate plus honey plus bare ice cream. It's little tricky to understand how the flow works. That's all.